I need to warn you right now, this is not a feel-good story. This is the kind of story that makes people stare at you in disbelief when you tell it. The kind where you lose sleep replaying every moment, wondering how you missed the signs, how you let it go that far. Because I fought like hell for custody of a little girl I thought was mine, and then I found out she wasn't. Oh, and before we get into it, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is right now. I love seeing how far this story is traveling. It makes me feel like I'm not just yelling into the void. Alright. Let's rewind. I met Vanessa when I was 27. I was working in IT, recently promoted, just starting to feel like a grown-up. She worked in marketing at a firm that rented office space in our building. We kept running into each other in the lobby, in the coffee shop downstairs, in the parking garage. Always smiling. Always a little too much eye contact. She was that kind of woman who made you feel like you were the only one in the room when she talked to you. You know the type. Effortless charm. Mysterious in that, I won't tell you where I'm going after this, kind of way. We started dating. Quickly. She moved in after 3 months. I thought it was fast, but she said, when you know, and I ate it up like a damn rom-com montage. Stupidly in love. She got pregnant about a year later. It wasn't planned, but it wasn't exactly an accident either. She stopped taking birth control, by mistake, and I, being a trusting idiot, believed that for way too long. But when she told me she was pregnant, I cried. Actual tears. I remember holding the test in my hand like it was some sacred relic. I'd always wanted to be a dad. My own father left when I was 5, so I grew up vowing I'd never do that to a kid. 9 months later, our daughter, Aria, was born. And listen, when I held her in the hospital, I swear my whole world shifted. That instant, primal love. I felt it. She looked like me. Or at least I thought she did. The dark hair, the little dimple in her cheek. I saw myself in her. I took night feedings. Diaper duty. Midnight lullabies. I was all in. Even when Vanessa started to pull away. Yeah. That started maybe 6 months after Aria was born. Vanessa went from being this soft, affectionate, emotionally available woman to cold. Distant. She'd stay out late, with friends, wouldn't answer texts, said she was tired all the time, didn't want to talk. I chalked it up to postpartum. And maybe part of it was postpartum. But it went deeper. We started fighting. Constantly. She said I was smothering her. That I was too intense. She wanted space, and I was just trying to hold the family together. Then, one night, I came home from work and the apartment was quiet. Too quiet. Vanessa was gone. And so was Aria. No note. No explanation. Just, gone. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Texted. Nothing. I drove to her mom's house, empty. Drove to her friend's place. They hadn't seen her. Panic set in. I thought someone had taken them. I called the police, filed a report. But they said she was an adult, the child was with her biological mother, and unless there was evidence of danger, there wasn't much they could do. It took 2 weeks before I got an email. An email. From her. Short and cold. I need space. I've taken Aria with me for a while. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. I lost it. I felt like someone had ripped my heart out. I didn't even know where they were. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Just stared at that one picture I had of Aria on my phone, her in the little onesie that said, Daddy's girl. That email turned into a full custody battle. I filed immediately. Hired a lawyer. Submitted every picture, video, record of me being in Aria's life. Father's name on the birth certificate. Paid every bill. Bought every diaper. I was fighting with everything I had. And Vanessa? She fought back. Hard. She claimed I was unstable. Said I was too controlling. That she feared for her safety. I had never laid a hand on her, never raised my voice to that child. But court gets ugly fast. Suddenly you're not just fighting for your kid, you're defending your entire personality under a microscope. Then her lawyer filed a motion that caught me completely off guard, a request for a paternity test. I thought it was a tactic. Some legal BS to delay the case. My lawyer even said not to worry, sometimes they just try to intimidate you. But I agreed to it. Swabbed my cheek without hesitation. Because why wouldn't I? She was my daughter. I knew it. Right? A week later, my lawyer called. I was in the middle of Costco, holding a rotisserie chicken, when I heard the words. The test came back. You're not the biological father. I swear, I dropped the chicken. Right there in the aisle. People stared. I didn't even care. My ears were ringing. My legs literally buckled. Not the father. Not the father. I couldn't speak. Just walked out of the store and sat in my car for 2 hours. Didn't turn it on. Didn't cry. Just sat there in this hollow, unreal silence. Later that night, I finally got Vanessa on the phone. She didn't deny it. She said, I didn't think it would go this far. I asked, who is the father? Silence. Then she said, it doesn't matter. You're the one who raised her. I swear to God, I nearly threw my phone out the window. It doesn't matter. To her, maybe. But to me? Everything I believed about my family, my daughter, had just shattered. And I still loved Aria. That was the sickest part. I still loved her. Like she was part of my own soul. But now? Now I had no legal claim. No rights. Just, a memory. The custody case fell apart. No judge in the world was going to give me rights over a child who wasn't biologically mine unless the mother agreed. And Vanessa? She didn't. She cut me out. I saw Aria once after that. Vanessa agreed to a visit, but it felt like a performance. Aria was too young to understand. She smiled, reached for me, said, Dada, and I almost broke. But I didn't see her again after that. It's been 3 years. I still think about her every single day. Her birthday. Her laugh. The way she used to grab my finger with her tiny hand. I kept one of her baby socks in a drawer, and sometimes, God, this sounds insane, I still pull it out and just stare at it. And the worst part? I don't even know if she remembers me. Or if she ever will. People tell me, at least you found out. Like that's a good thing. But honestly, I sometimes wish I hadn't. I wish I'd never taken that paternity test. I wish I could have stayed in that delusion forever, thinking she was mine. Believing we were a family. But I guess the truth always finds you. Whether you want it or not. So yeah. That's my story. I fought for custody. Spent thousands of dollars. Went through hell and back. And in the end, I found out the little girl I would have died for, wasn't even mine. I don't tell this story for sympathy. I tell it because I know I'm not the only one who's lived through something like this. And if you have, or if you're going through it right now, I see you. Drop a comment if you've ever had your world turned upside down by someone you trusted. I want to hear your story. Because sometimes, the only way we survive stuff like this, is by knowing we're not alone. Thanks for listening.